Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. There's a twist and turn. Some few hours ago, a video on audio leak came out where there was a conversation between presidential candidate of Labour Party Tr0uble and Bishop David Oyedepo, where there seemed to be a twist and turn to it. A lot of Nigerians have started looking into it deeply to see if it's a deep fake or if it's a reality or if it was at some point edited to sound as if that's what it meant. But to make matters interesting, there's also an international dimension to it, which may eventually indict Bola Ahmed Tinubu if eventually found true. In a moment, we're going to find out what it is. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, according to the news, popular Nollywood actor Int'l Igwe had shared a sarcastic tweet that reads, "I lost all the respect I had for Tr0uble when I heard him saying good morning on a call made in the evening. I wonder who taught him geography. How could he not tell then the difference between Onitsha and Agolo? You voted in Agolo, but you told Daddy you were staying in Onitsha." All right, that's sarcasm. He didn't stop there. He said, looking at his tweet, you could actually tell that he is giving some punchlines that shows that there's propaganda in the audio leak. But now let's look at that part that may work together for the good of Tr0uble, if eventually this is found to be true. Well, there's a report by a Nigerian cybersecurity expert, Charles Awuzie, warning that this may likely happen to Tinubu's government if Tr0uble's alleged leaked audio tape with Bishop David Oyedepo turns out to be true and not fake, as many obedience are declaring it to be. He made it clear that such an audio can be traced to state-sponsored surveillance of the opposition. According to him, if such an audio tape turns out to be true, it will be fatal for Tinubu's government because it can be used as a major evidence against Tinubu in court. He stated that when it is established that the leak of opposition leaders' calls are linked to the ruling party, the international community will intervene in the matter as they will mark such government as suppressive and tyranny. He said, and I quote him, "Many obedients are praying for the Yes Daddy video to be fake. But those of us who know the serious implications of the state-sponsored surveillance of opposition in the international community are praying that it turns out to be true. This will be the dumbest APC propaganda because it will be a huge evidence against them and the international community. And it will label such as government as a tyrannical one." My God, many Nigerians are reacting to this. In fact, we are wondering, which do we believe? Of course, some persons have been talking, a whole lot of persons have been insisting that for a while now, I don't know how true that is though, but they did say that they've been, that Tr0uble's phone have been taped for a while just to see if it's going to say anything that will be indicting or anything that will showcase that he's in support of interim government so that they could pick him up for state-sponsored protest, of which unfortunately, or should I say fortunately for Tr0uble and unfortunately for those who are observing him, they've not gotten anything on that. And Tr0uble has always been a man who is very careful with his words. If you listen to his interview, some persons feel that he's too gentle to be in politics. But I think he understands the dynamics of politics, so he's very careful. In fact, he chooses his words very carefully. So I think as a billionaire of that reputation, he should understand that at the level he has worked in, the best way of communicating with someone is really not on phone. It can be taped. All right, we may not know how good or how bad, but then again, the best way of communication is to meet the person one-on-one, okay, and share your thoughts freely, with the hope also that the person is as trustworthy as you are. All right, but with these, now, I would say it's coming from a different angle, that he's honestly, in all honesty, is praying. Let it not be fake. In fact, he's hoping. And based on what Kenneth Okonkwo had, come around and said that call was leaked, that it was made, but was doctored and all. But if it is doctored, that call was made privately between Tr0uble, if it is true, between Tr0uble and Bishop David Oyedepo. So how is it possible that a call made between two grown men of repute, found its way on the media, which means all our calls are not safe. Is that what, what Anwoze is trying to let Nigerians know? And now, even while they're still playing on that serious pattern, the obedient are really looking at it and say that this is a deep fake, that they actually doctored the voice of Bishop David Oyedepo. They must have heard him speak, doctored it, and same with Peter Obi, and they married the two to make it sound like a conversation. But from what Valentine and Kenneth Okonkwo said, you would agree with me that they didn't say it was a deep fake. They only said probably it was doctored, which means such a conversation must have held. Now, if such a conversation was held, which means his lines were tapped, which also means it contravenes the issue of privacy. My God, it's a big one. If you look at it from the legal perspective, who knows? All things will work together for the good of Peter Obi eventually. Who knows? If other ones does not stick, this one will at least stick now. However way you want to, but the only thing is that whoever it is that has done that job for them, if it is true, because it's allegedly so right now, it has not been proven, they may likely either dismember the person, suspend the person, said they will not trace it back to the party. It's a serious matter, but whichever the case may be, let's keep the gang running. But let's feel the pulse of Nigeria, because Nigerians are talking seriously. This one here says, APC government can't track kidnappers, and their call they're only interested in is Peter Obi's call. Okay, all right. Another person here says, Obi. So this person said, thank you for that. Tell APC they are. I don't understand what he's trying to write. Another person here says, Oga, don't say anything. Let us see how this whole thing will play out. Another person here says, what is the content of the leaked audio that makes it risk to national security? Sometimes some of you just open your mouth and talk. Let me tell you the risk. Now, the fact that no one have privacy is so wrong. If you make a call, it's a private call, except, of course, if the person in question is supposed to be under investigation, is a criminal or something. For the sake of the security of the nation, they may have that permission to listen to the call of that person, because the person is probably criminal and is trying to be whatever. Peter Obi is not a criminal. Bishop David Oyedepo is not a criminal. So why would you, in all honesty, start taping their calls? That's for the person saying it's not, it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, which means arbitrarily the government can just be, taping private calls. It's wrong. The privacy here has been tarnished. That's what I believe, though. But then again, it's still alleged. That's not been proven. That's what Onwoze is saying, that if eventually it is found to be true, then Peter Obi have a case to answer. In fact, he has a good case for him, and APC may have a case to answer. Being that they're trying to do all they can to see how they can nail Peter Obi, either which may work together for the good of Peter Obi eventually. Well, I guess that's where we're going to wrap it up. A lot of Nigerians are talking, honestly. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take?